Hi, friends. My name is host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People, the internet television program that brings you all the news you need to know about everything in the world. Today, my guest is Cameron. He's an ISTJ and perhaps a member of the Bloods.
I do have my swag. I'm also the host of my own YouTube channel on electric scooter repair.
Cam Moto.
Cam Moto, indeed. I got like 3 new subscribers yesterday.
That's absolutely fantastic.
I am up to like 493 people.
That's really good.
Yeah, I've got like a bunch new because I started doing iMovie, so my videos are finally halfway decent.
Oh.
Sorry, I distract from what this
Totally
video is about,
okay.
which is about my favorite high school music. I was telling Rachel that the cassette tape I had in my car in high school was NWA, Straight Outta Compton. I wore that tape out.
Now, I too listened to that album a lot. I had it, I think. I had it on vinyl, but I probably had a cassette tape of it as well because I listened to it too much for it to only be on vinyl, unless I've had it in the car. So, Cameron and I both have personal history with the album from around when it came out, based because he's 47, I think. I'm 49.
Yep.
So today we were discussing, and then she suggested we make a video about it. The use of the word trigger, but with an N, and my cover of this song, Straight Outta Compton, on the guitar. My point being that I generally avoid using the word as well, but that I make sure that I have a good justification or logical argumentation behind the use of it. In this case, it would be, those aren't my words, those are their words, I'm covering their song. You don't own what you say, you don't own the things that come out of your mouth, you own your words. If you're quoting somebody, then those aren't your words, you know? As a consequence, in my opinion, even if you were to argue that the use of that term by me is somehow wrong, that it would be not applicable here. Cameron suggests that because in singing it, I sang the word trigger instead of trigga, that in that regard, in some fashion, I've reinterpreted the meaning so as to highlight this term and thus am guilty of some misstep in some regard at least. Cameron, do you want to jump in here?
Okay. I grew up listening to NWA and a lot of other rap music that was then renamed hip-hop and stuff like that. And I believe that the name of the band is, and using the trigger and trigga word, I believe the band's name is Triggas with attitude. And I've listened to them since I was maybe like 12 or 13, maybe 14. So when Eric did his musical rendition, and he used trigger, his homage, which I thought it was fun. I couldn't keep up with it because he used a different sort of cadence is what it is. So I couldn't keep up, even though I know all the words to every NWA song. He said, somebody talked crap about his song and said it sounded racist or something like that.
He said, I used the N word. I said, I didn't. Those aren't my words. I'm covering the song. Cameron said, well, yeah, but you changed it a little bit by making it trigger instead of trigga. Well, anything else you want to add to your position here?
I want to add that it may be considered not politically correct to most people, at least where we're from in California, to say the trigger version of the word. To use the trigga version is kind of like something that's acceptable, something that you hear, and not acceptable for me to say it, but something that's acceptable for some people to say. God, I'm not explaining this very well, but I think people are going to be insulted if they hear the on the end of the word, and it doesn't sound as bad if it's
Would your position change if you knew that while I was singing that, I actually was black.
I still think that black people don't use trigger unless they're talking about like what a slave master said to somebody in whatever 1850 or something.
Okay, but let's say even if that is generally the case, that would suggest that one's accent, rather than the words one uses, determines whether or not the word is offensive.
But doesn't it?
No.
I mean, what if?
I don't think so. Because look, I don't think that this delineation between those two pronunciations is anywhere close to as clear cut as it's on occasion in the past perhaps been purported to be. Additionally, number two, I don't think that people who self-identify as black limit themselves to saying triggas. I think they say triggers as well. Number three, if I were British, for example, I might always pronounce it Triggas, even though it, that's a function of my English accent in that instance, not a choice of how to pronounce it. And also, I may choose to go how I consistently pronounce words rather than that I'm reading, rather than how rather than factoring in these social considerations. Now, I would also point out that probably you'd say, well, it says AZ in the text itself, so you should have read it as such.
So during in the lyrics, it doesn't have ER on the end.
Right. So
and
AZ.
Also in the band name. Okay.
Now, but the thing is, well, it's like I also might do that sort of thing in general with any song. If it says gonna, I might convert it to going to. I just as sort of my style, I guess.
You don't add ers to every word, though.
Actually, the thing is, that's
called
kind of
cheeser.
No, but the point is, if a word, I am more likely to pronounce a word correctly and not default to sort of easy shortcuts than most people. I'm pretty attentive to how I speak. So, I don't know. The thing is, given that I'm fluidly transracial and that I was black when I was singing it, in order to be convincing that somehow it was an expression of ontological, adversarialness or something, or groupism, then that'd be you'd have to show that it's always wrong for anyone to use trigger instead of trigger.
Well, what I find interesting is that I know you are not a racist, and you use the word, but I think you may somehow subconsciously know that it is a more inflammatory word that people will get annoyed by. If you were to do a rendition of that song and did some sort of independent analysis of likes and watches and watch time, and you just independently, not like you added another version now with Trigga, but if somehow you had two independent equivalent channels and each did the same type of video, I think that the one with the on the end of it would be more likable.
It would provoke
by
less
most people.
Ouch, that's a sharp object on the map.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so the thing is, of course, I'm aware of all of this when I'm making this, and I paired the song that I did in the live stream with another song. Oh, I see. What I did was I did a live stream prior to making that video. In the live stream, I covered "I'm a White Boy" by Merle Haggard, And then I immediately thereafter covered Fuck the Police by NWA.
One of my faves. They had a good single cassette tape.
Now, my point there is I won't be subsumed by any of your racial frames, even the ones that purport to be good, which is, for example, what Cameron's doing here is he's saying it is appropriate and good that we don't confer onto others limiting racial identities. In other words, well, you must be good at math because you're Asian or something, right? Or you must be bad at math because you're Mia. So it is bad to do that kind of shit. I agree. But this is my way of attacking that. It's saying I also won't be constrained by your racial sensitivity, because that is just empowering the notion that this make-believe distinction called race is something other than an arbitrary means of justifying treating people differently from each other, you know? So that's why I do this kind of shit, and it's important to walk the line properly. I have a lot of faith in my ability to walk it properly. I don't have a lot of faith in anybody else's ability to walk it properly, but you know. Any other thoughts, Cameron?
Are you leaving you're obviously leaving the song up.
Oh yeah, of course.
Are you recording another song?
I mean, I don't plan on. I don't plan really on about things like that. It just the reason that happened right then is because I had fun doing Fuck the Police on the live stream, and so I thought, well, let me do a recording where the audio is of better quality, because when I do it on live stream, if I'm not streaming with the software, I can't excerpt it because the audio is so shitty.
There's a really good Boys in the Hood rendition by, you probably know, we probably listened to it in your car before. That's a great one.
I've had a couple people reference that in association with this thing that I've done. I do know what you're talking about. I do remember the thing. I remember liking it at the time. I don't remember if this particular issue with Trigga comes up in that song or not.
I don't think it does. I don't think it could come up once, but I don't know.
The thing is, Cameron and I are about to go run to do this logistics thing with my mom's old bed. We got to go pick it up, take it to get rid of it somewhere or whatever. But I just wanted to say already, it's only 10:37. Today's been a good day. You know why, Cameron? Why has it been a good day?
Well, how does that lyric go from Ice Cube? It's a good day because the sun. How does that go?
Ice-T, actually, right? No, that was Ice Cube. You're
Ice
right.
Cube did the song.
The reason it's a good day is because I haven't had to use my AK.
Oh man,
that's why.
That does make it a good day.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Catch you later, people. You got to listen to an ISTJ.